Why Michael Carter having a bounce back year could change everything for the New York Jets. What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video. Today, I am excited to get into my opinion on Michael Carter going into year 3 in the NFL. Before we get started, Matt O'Leary NY on social media. And don't forget, the Just Jets podcast airs every single Wednesday, so make sure to tune in. So it wasn't that long ago that the New York Jets drafted Michael Carter back in 2021, and we should specify which Michael Carter, not the corner Michael Carter, who's been very, very good, the running back Michael Carter. And now fans are, and a lot of people seem to be really down on Michael Carter. Obviously, Breece Hall came in last year and was stellar, and you knew that Breece Hall was going to be RB1 last year, but the assumption was that Michael Carter was going to be a pretty good RB2 for the New York Jets in 2022. Unfortunately, that really wasn't the case. He struggled immensely in his second season in the NFL. He averaged just 3.5 yards per attempt, 25.1 yards per game, 402 yards, and 3 touchdowns, which was a pretty significant step back when, as a rookie, he put up 4.3 yards per carry, 45.6 yards per game, 639 yards, and 4 touchdowns. That was a pretty solid rookie season for a running back who was taken in the mid-rounds and did not have the same expectation as Breece Hall. Breece Hall was expected to come in and be very, very good right away. He was the RB1 of that draft class for good reason. He probably would have went on to win Offensive Rookie of the Year last year if he doesn't get hurt, but Michael Carter was looked at as a running back who maybe could have gone as early as the 2nd round. The Jets get him in the 4th round, and it wasn't that long ago that people assumed that he could be a tandem back, or like a 1B. And going into last year's draft, I and many others, and granted maybe we ended up being wrong at the end of the day, we wanted the Jets to find a running mate with Michael Carter, not necessarily spending a 2nd round pick on a running back. They did, and that obviously worked with Breece Hall, but I remember a lot of people going into the 2022 draft was talking about adding another running back to complement Michael Carter. So the expectation was him kind of being that 1B. And obviously, last year he was demoted because Bam Knight ended up being better. Ty Johnson ended up being a better running back at points last year. But I seem to remember some really solid games from his rookie season against the Cincinnati Bengals, where he's averaging over 5 yards a carry with a touchdown and another 95 yards receiving in that game, or the Jaguars from his rookie season when he had 16 carries for 118 yards. Like, there was a lot of promise, and people came out of 2021 into 2022 excited about Michael Carter. And I don't really see anyone excited about Michael Carter anymore at this point. In fact, so many people are pointing to the New York Jets to sign Dalvin Cook, and who knows, as of right now, they haven't yet signed Dalvin, but they still could theoretically add him. But what if Michael Carter, and even Bam Knight to an extent, because he started out pretty good and then kind of went off and slowed down the stretch. What if Michael Carter will focus on, though? What if he bounces back in 2023? Is there any hope for him? He just didn't look like the same rusher that he was as a rookie, and I wonder if there was some sort of nagging injury that he was trying to play throughout the season. Look, I am not going to sit here and tell you that Michael Carter is going to be an 1,000-yard rusher at any point in his career, or even an 1,000-yard rusher next year. But can he be a solid RB2? And even early on for the first month of the season, let's say first 4 games, maybe end up carrying the load a touch more than a guy like Breece Hall, who they might want to bring on slowly and it be a little bit of a Michael Carter and Bam Knight 1-2 punch? I think they could. I think the two of them could do it. And maybe I'm the naive one. Maybe I don't value the running back position enough. But I think with the Jets' immense injuries on the offensive line last year, that's, to me, the biggest reason why the line and the quarterback play and everything else fell apart down the stretch last year. I mean, you look at Mike White and Joe Flacco, who had success early on in the year. They were cooked at the end. And Zach Wilson, obviously, which just really went off the rails there. But a lot of that was mental. I think with an improved offensive line, which the Jets should have, barring health, and there's to me no way that an offensive line could be that injured 2 years in a row. So you got to think that that's changing and turning around. I think both running backs or all running backs improve, but I think Michael Carter bouncing back would be a massive win for the New York Jets. And again, a bounce back doesn't need to be in 1,000-yard season, but could he give you 500 yards and a few touchdowns and be a reliable back early on in the season when Breece Hall is coming back slowly? I think that's why the Jets drafted him. I'm not ready to throw him away after 2 years. Are you? Let me know in the comments down below what your feeling is on Michael Carter. Sound off. I am Matt O'Leary. Please subscribe if you're new. Give the video a like, share with a friend, and I'll catch you next time.